Empowering True Crime Alex here. We're talking about Madalina Cojocari, an 11-year-old girl from North Carolina who has been missing since November 23rd, possibly since November 22nd or November 21st. We're not quite sure. Today, her parents are going to have a bond hearing, apparently. Her mother, Diana Cojocari, and her stepfather, Christopher Palmiter, both who have been arrested for failing to report their daughter missing. There is a law in North Carolina that you can be arrested if you fail to report a missing child, and some other things that if you know that a child is endangered and you fail to report that, you could also be charged. This is in North Carolina. So what I wanted to go through today is there hasn't been any updates on Madalina. She has been on the FBI's most wanted case since last week. And so there's a lot of resources going into finding her. And so I wanted to give you some updates since we don't know yet. The bond hearings was supposed to be this morning at 9 a.m., but we haven't seen those yet. So I'm going to go through a couple of things here. First, I wanted to just pull up this article. This is, let me see if I can make it a little bigger. As Madalina Cojocari's parents face court hearing Wednesday, Cornelius police share an update in the case. And I'll read that. I'll go through that video now in a moment. And so here it says the two are expected to appear in court Wednesday at 1:30 p.m. So that's an update here on as of this morning, because I guess the date was at 9 a.m. and now they've pushed it back to 1:30 p.m. I'll just read this little part here when it said, Madalina Cojocari was reported missing by her mother, Diana, on December 15th. Cojocari told police she last saw her daughter on November 23rd, more than 3 weeks before she was reported missing. When pressed about not calling law enforcement sooner, Diana allegedly said she felt it would cause conflict between her and Madalina's stepfather, Christopher Palmiter, because your relationship is more important than the safety of your daughter. I won't understand that, and I don't understand that. I don't know if she's covering for him. We don't know, because apparently they're not really talking too much more. And it says here, Cojocari also told investigators she believed Palmiter put her family in danger, but police haven't provided any further details into that comment. Now, one thing that's interesting, and before I go into the video now, the video update from Cornelius Police, is that I wonder if they didn't know about this law that you have to report. And maybe that's why they didn't do it. I didn't know about it. I don't live in North Carolina, but I didn't know about that. And I'm sure probably a lot of people don't know that law exists. I'm so glad it does, because obviously it's very shady and very fishy, and we all think that they're probably involved. So I'm glad that law is in place. But I'm sure, and her mom, Diana, being from Moldova, I don't know how long she's been in the States, to be frank, I'm not entirely sure. But maybe being a more recent immigrant to the U.S. didn't know that, or to North Carolina didn't know that either. So this is from the police. I'm going to be quiet now. Let's listen.
I'm Captain Jennifer Thompson of the Cornelius Police Department. First, on behalf of our command staff, our town manager, and elected officials, I want to say thank you to all the agencies who are assisting us in our search for Madalina. Over the past 12 days, the Cornelius Police Department has led a massive investigation to find 11-year-old Madalina Cojocari. One of the challenges in this case, simply put, we were not notified she was gone, a delay of 3 weeks. School officials had repeatedly tried to contact Madalina's parents. Finally, on December 15th, Madalina's mother walked into school and said her daughter was missing.
And I wanted to highlight here, because she hasn't said it yet, is that the school repeatedly tried to get a hold of her, them not knowing that she was missing, right? And it's the holidays, so might have been a very ideal, opportune time if there were nefarious intentions from the parents to do it at this time, because there was a lot going on, a lot of holidays, some people on vacation and things like that. So it was a pretty opportune time if we were going to do something to a child to do it during that time, because it's less likely that it's going to get it's easier to let that slip and let that slide. But a lot of people were criticizing the school because they're like, hey, why didn't they say anything? Well, they did try to get a hold of the parents. And one of the things that happened also is that Diana said that she was going to go to the school with the daughter, and she didn't. So that to me is possibly the most shady part of this whole thing, that she actually said that she was going to take the daughter, but knowing that the daughter's been missing for a few weeks. So I don't understand, but we'll see what details emerge as the case investigation continues. Okay, let's go on.
We immediately called in partners from across the state and from the FBI. Since that Thursday, nearly 2 weeks ago, hundreds of agents, detectives, analysts, and other employees surged. In cooperation with the district attorney's office, we arrested Madalina's mother, Diana Cojocari, and her stepfather, Christopher Palmiter. Thankfully, the state of North Carolina has a law that makes it illegal if someone fails to report a missing child to law enforcement. Here are some of the specifics. Investigators have developed and followed nearly 250 leads spanning across state lines and across the globe. We have interviewed hundreds of people in North Carolina and other states, and again, across the globe. We went door to door to at least 245 homes, focusing on the Victoria Bay community where Madalina lives. We canvassed businesses and scoured through hours of surveillance video from all over the area. We also led land and water searches around Lake Cornelius as a precautionary measure. Investigators obtained multiple search warrants for Madalina's home to make sure we legally gathered each and every possible piece of evidence to find Madalina. We know everyone has a lot of questions. We also have questions and are doing everything we can with proper legal authority to get those answers. We know you understand us sharing investigative details could harm our efforts in finding Madalina. The Cornelius Police Department is so grateful for the tremendous outpouring of support. This is a serious case of a child whose parents clearly are not telling us everything they know. Please call us if you have eyewitness information. Thank you for your time and efforts to help us find Madalina.
Wow. So, right. You can tell that this, I think she's a captain, lieutenant, is invested in this case. And oh no, she's a captain. She's a captain. But she's invested in this case, and they said, I think hundreds of leads. 250 leads. They've interviewed hundreds of people from in the area and across the globe. So I'm imagining the family members. 245 door to door. They've gone door to door to 245 homes, and they've looked at footage. They've done land and water searches. They searched Lake Cornelius. So they've done a lot in the last couple of weeks since they found out about this little girl missing. So props to them. And and they did say, which a lot of law enforcement does say, that they got search warrants because they want to make sure things go right. It's unfortunate that they have to think about those things, but that is part of the legal process in the United States, is making sure that there isn't anything that they do things by the book, so that whoever is charged makes sure that they get a fair treatment in the law, because in the US legally they're presumed innocent until proven guilty, right? And so there could be technicalities that could happen if they didn't get a search warrant, for example. The good news though is that the parents have the mother and the stepfather have been arrested, so that's great news. And let's see what continues to come forward. I'll update you as soon as I find out after the bond hearing, any news on that. I'll update you on that. And I don't think that this case is getting the attention that it deserves. And little girl, 11-year-olds, that it's just really heartbreaking to know that she has now missed 2 holidays, Thanksgiving and Christmas. And if you know anything, if you've seen anything, if you've heard anything, if you have any leads or any tips, please send it in to the FBI, and let's see if we can find Madalina and bring her home, and hopefully not to those parents. Sorry, I had to say it. All right. So if you found this video informative, educational, and you learned something, I'd appreciate if you hit the thumbs up. And if you like my style of covering true crime, victim focused, victim centered, and want more empowering true crime updates, I'd appreciate if you subscribe to my channel and hit the bell for notifications anytime I post or go live. All right, everyone, have a blessed week, and prayers for Madalina's safe return, or at least that she comes home soon. All right, everyone, stay safe, stay thriving, and have an empowering week. Bye for now. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell button for notifications. Thank you.